I want before we get to the chat, I want to play another clip that I found interesting. The actress, or they call them actors now. They call women actors. They don't call them actors.
Get it right.
Yeah, I don't know. The actress Jenifer Lewis. She's been in a couple movies that I've actually seen, but she was on Stephen A. Smith's show, and man, did she have a rant about Donald Trump and what about black men and what's the matter with us? How dare you vote for Donald Trump? It's one of the most amazing reactions to the recent election, but let's play Jenifer Lewis, and I want to get your reaction.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. When your favorite niece and your 13-year-old daughter is raped by your alcoholic brother or the next door neighbor, and she tries to abort that baby inside of her from a rape, you're going to regret that. They want to keep women in their place. It's so disgusting. I can't even put words to them voting for her. They didn't vote for her, didn't vote because she was a woman. They didn't care that she was smart and powerful, educated, beautiful, kind, joyful, fearless. She would have taken care of this country. She would have protected the people. She would have surrounded herself with great minds. But keeping women in their place was more important to them. And black men, that was just shocking because, honey, he's going to give the military and the police permission to shoot you in your back, and there will be no immunity.
There would be immunity, but I get her point. Listen, there's a fuller clip, and she sounds deranged, but I'm going to argue a little bit the other side in terms of she's 67 years old, and I'm not saying that she lived the color purple experience, but there are a lot of black women who think they live the color purple experience, or know their friends that have been in abusive relationships or whatever, and they've just bought into a negative narrative on black men and on family, the nuclear family. She represents an age group of black women who don't like black men, think marriage is a negative institution that favors men, and wants to live in a world where they don't have to bow to the authority, the leadership of men. And she's not alone in that delusion. And so, as crazy as she sounds, I do think she represents the point of view of a lot of black women.
Yeah, to use her own words against her, ain't nobody got time for that. She sounds delusional, Jason, and you gave the perfect word. And the problem is, we know this isn't true, and someone should hold black women, even in that age group, they should hold their feet to the fire and say, stop telling lies. The idea that every black man is running around controlling black women, raping black women, mistreating black women, not giving them a voice, even in that age group, is absurd. It's not true. I know plenty of people. I have aunts that are in their 80s. That's not their experience. My grandmother is 90. That's not their experience. And so I do think that they act as if this is the color purple age and every black woman has had to deal with that. And it's just not true. Have some black women dealt with that? Absolutely. But you don't know 9 out of 10 women. That's not the statistics. And it just bothers me that we've gotten so comfortable with lies and we've gotten so scared of correcting Black women. We watched Stephen A. Smith not correct her one time. Not only did he not correct her, but he went as far as to let her know, I voted for Kamala. Like he was scared. And I'm tired of seeing Black men have to cower to not just Black women, but to the lies they constantly tell on Black men. This false narrative that's painted, I'm tired of hearing it because it's having a negative effect on the Black community and young Black women coming up. When you constantly see a several generation of women saying, I don't need a man, it's really bad because they're not stopping having kids. They're just not having them in the right way.
Let's be honest. The insurance model is broken. Crowd Health puts your health care back in your hands. Use the promo code FEARLESS at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com, promo code FEARLESS. I'm a mix of emotions because obviously I'm someone unafraid to correct myself or anybody, and but that Jenifer Lewis and a lot of Black women exist in a time where they're never corrected, ever. And so I look at her and I feel sorry. She believes delusional things, but I'm sure she lives in a bubble where she's used to dealing with men like Stephen A. Smith, who will never be caught on tape correcting a Black woman because they're so fearful of the backlash from that. Either men are so controlled by their penises and it's, I'm going to lose access to her vagina, so don't let me say anything. And I know Stephen A. is not trying to sleep with Jenifer Lewis, but he's thinking perhaps about all the women that like Jenifer Lewis, think like her, would see him correcting her as, don't you dare mansplain to that Black woman. She's 67 and blah, 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 blah. But it's the lack of correction is what's creating the delusion. And it's tough, it's difficult, but they have to be stood up to and corrected. And it's just a shame that we have so many weak men, Black and white, and it's actually dissipating. I just saw Jasmine Crockett and then the bald-headed woman, Ayanna Presley or whatever, I think that's her name.
Yes.
Did I get that name right? Yeah,
Yes.
The bald-headed woman in Congress or whatever. I just saw a white dude from Texas that was in Congress. He stood up to the bald-headed woman and called her out on her BS. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Look at this white man. He ain't scared. And as Black men, we have to get in that mentality and realize what time we're in right now. These women have to be corrected. If left uncorrected, we all suffer the consequences.
Absolutely. And these are the same women that claim they are standing up for the rights of women. If you really care about women, tell them the difference between right and wrong. Lead these young girls in a better direction. If you understand how hard it was for you to be a single mother or be out here by yourself, start teaching these young girls and young guys that, hey, we did it the wrong way. You are better together. It is better for you to get married and have children and raise these children under the same household, because we were sold a lie. We believed it and it didn't work. You know, I had a friend, we were talking the other day, and he was just saying how women are, we're like butter knives. Can we operate sometimes as a screwdriver? Yes. But is that what we were made to do? No. And so when you see so many women out here operating as screwdrivers, some of them are bitter and angry because they know they are operating in a place that they're not supposed to. And so if we want to actually help women, we will start to tell these young girls the truth. What you've been hearing is a lie. You're a butter knife, and you need you a screwdriver for those screwdriver things. Can you do it? Possibly, sometimes, but that's not what you were made for. And you will be happier and things will run more efficiently if everybody, acts the way they're supposed to. And that's just what needs to happen.
Play your role, play your position. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.